Hey everybody, welcome to a very early Thursday show, and that's because we're going to be doing a heritage auction preview for next week's signature auction. It's their usual September signature auction, and I've got Joe Mannarino in the green room. We're going to bring him in and get this thing started. Hey Joe, nice to see you.
Hey, Bill, how are you? How is everyone?
Hey, like I was telling you in the green room, everybody's fantastic here. I hope you and Nadia and the family are all in good spirits and enjoying the end of summer.
I'd like to say I'm enjoying the end of summer, but I'm saying like it just ended. All of a sudden it got cold. I mean, we went from a summer to late fall. So I just wish it'd be a little longer. But hey, we don't have time to do too much chit chat as we've got a lot to cover in this sale.
We do exactly, and I've got a hard moment where I have to end everything so I can go to my calf update. So this auction starts next Thursday. And what's the art schedule again? Because I think everybody's still kind of adapting to.
So we do have the new format where we used to have a platinum session that had both comics and art on the first day, and then it went right to comics. So that means everybody had to go in if they wanted art the first day, then leave, then come back the second day, and then the floor session began. So what we've done is divided it exactly in two. The first day, platinum comics, then floor session comics. The second day, September 13th, starting at 12 o'clock, Dallas time, platinum, and then floor only comics. And then, of course, non-floor, meaning the automated auction on Sunday.
Right. Okay. It's not hard to understand.
No.
No, I'm still getting used to it. Hey, and just so you know, in my calf update, I am going to be opening the first piece of art that I've won through a Heritage Weekly auction.
Wow.
Yeah. It was about almost a month ago, I guess. So it's fun. A piece of art I didn't think I'd ever get to own, and now I own it, and I'm going to open it and show it off in about an hour and a half.
Cool.
So, all right, well, let's dive into some of the pieces that you selected here. Let me get the screen.
Yeah.
Here we go.
Some drama.
Yeah, this is kind of a pivotal moment for Spidey, the end page to issue 32.
Yep. Most people are familiar with the fact that what is considered Ditko's most famous story is Spider-Man 33, which is the final chapter where he's trapped underneath this equipment. Aunt May is dying in the hospital. The serum that could save her is there in front of Spider-Man. He had to defeat Dr. Octopus to get it, but he's trapped under the equipment. And if he doesn't get it to her within a certain amount of time, she's going to die. So very dramatic. What most people don't know is that book is still complete, Spider-Man 33. And they don't realize that this one page really is all the graphics that are in 33 and sets the stage for that big finale. And him being under the equipment is only under 4 pages of 33. So the person that had this bought it at the time that the Marvel artwork came out way back when. This guy's been a collector since late 60s, early 70s, and I knew him for a long time. And he still had the original page. In addition to this page, he also had most of the art to New Gods #3, which also came out at that time. So the first Black Racer.
Right.
But this is a really cool page.
Oh, it definitely is. So, this is nice. And I did not realize that 33 was still complete. So this is as close as you're going to get to that one, which is, I think, like you said, considered Ditko's probably finest book story-wise. And where are we at right now? We're at 92.5. So with Buyer's Premium, it's already at 111. Yeah, this will be a good one. Well, Ditko is still will always be kind of the marquee pieces to own. They've always been that way for the 20 plus years I've been collecting, and I'm sure they were that way when you were really first getting started in the business as well.
Well, it was when I first got started. I mean, there wasn't any Dicko, so until the Marvel art came out, I never even saw a page of original art. I did see some Charlton art, one or two pieces, but never Dicko. So that's something, and obviously it's very limited. We only did 39 issues, 38 issues of Spider-Man. So you don't have that much choice.
Sure.
A lot of the books have never even turned up. So I mean, it's always going to be a premium. And later you're going to see we have one of the great Doctor Strange pieces. So this sale is low. There's some themes in this sale. This piece is new to the market, great. But we also still have the Roger Hill collection.
Yeah.
We have some great examples from there. We talked about that at length last time. We have the David Mandel collection. David still, he's been buying up props, and so he's decided to let go some premium material. We have new items from the Jim Lee collection. We have material from the John Buscema family and from the Corbin estate, among many other great things. So
yeah, even and during the weekly auctions, there's still a lot of Dennis Kitchen material still coming out,
and Tom Palmer material.
Right, Al Milgrom still has some things in there. I mean, so you've got a lot of material to work with right now.
Yeah,
all of it good. All right, now the piece that graces the cover of the guide, right?
Yeah. This came from the Buscema family, and it is the iconic first cover from Wolverine #1, and it is a dramatic cover. I mean, I love the contrast. I love I love the shape of it. I mean, it's almost like Frazetta's Conan 1. If you look at it, that pyramid type shape.
Mm-hmm.
That's so dramatic, and him, lunging forward. I mean, it's just a great cover.
Yeah, this I get this one at San Diego.
In front of the moon in the middle of the night. I mean, it doesn't get more dramatic than that.
No, and it was pretty spectacular to see in person, and this is actually kind of when I wasn't reading comics, but for a lot of collectors, this is the Wolverine image that defines him as a character, and I think that when I was looking at it, all I could think of is there's going to be a lot of people who are very interested in this piece just because it's a defining image for them. I mean, it straight up is, even though these people might be in their early 50s, late 40s. There's going to be a lot of people interested in it. It's already at what was it, $222 with the buyer's premium. So I think a lot of people are placing wild guesses on where this one will end up, but I'm very curious. I'll be watching this one, intently. I think when we didn't, how did I put it? We haven't had like a piece like this in maybe a couple signature auctions where it's one that is just got a lot of interest. Maybe since a Miller cover or whatnot. But I just think this thing is it's Marvel, and it's not that old, but it's old enough that it makes it special. And knowing that it's come right off the wall, from the Buscemas to here, first opportunity, that's always special. Number one Marvel fan says $1 million.
The only thing that's interesting is, I guess there's some question as to who inked it, as to whether or not it was inked by possibly Al Williamson, and it's a tough one because it is beautifully inked. I would believe John did it himself, but I would believe Williamson did it as well. So
could have,
yeah. I mean, it's just beautifully done. Period.
You're not going to get an argument from me. Now here is awesome Jim Lee piece inked by Scott Williams, and it's from X-Men 2, the title page. Yeah,
it's funny. We have a couple of like super iconic Magneto images in the sale. Jim Lee, and then later we have a John Byrne, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
Arguably this is the most famous portrait of Magneto from the X-Men, and it's immediately recognizable. So it comes from Jim's collection. So again, new to the market. I mean, what can you say? It's beautifully inked. It's got everything. You know, it looks like a cover. Uh, Actually has more coverage on the sheet than a cover would have because you don't have the logo.
Yeah. Well, it's cool that Jim held on to a lot of material and didn't sell everything off. Scott Williams probably has a few nice pieces from this era as well, I imagine.
Oh, absolutely.
But yeah, no, I think this is great. I mean, I love seeing pieces like this, and again, it's first time to market.
Yeah. And what's this one at? Do you know? I don't have it.
It's 25 with the buyer's premium.
Yeah. Well, I think they're going to do a little better than that.
Oh yeah. Then Lee Elias, one of my favorite artists from the 50s. So
yeah,
look at this. This is gory, fun. I love it. And I'm saying fun. Okay, should I say fun? But it is though. I mean, back then it's like if this didn't make kids smile when they saw this thing on the newsstand, and probably their parents, cringe. But I love imagery like this. I mean, it's just what comics from the 50s should look like.
Well, this is like the zenith of the of the horror era of that period, and in the last sale, the two most iconic covers from that period are basically this one and the cover of Black Cat 50, which is the radiation cover we sold in the last sale.
Right.
And that ended up selling for $840,000. I mean,
that was a shocking cover.
A Lee Elias cover, right? Who would have ever thought? And this one's right there with it, So again, there's not much that needs to be said.
Right.
I mean, it is one of the hottest comic books. It is one of the most memorable images, and obviously notorious. It was part of Seduction of the Innocent, the whole bit.
Mm-hmm. And it's just over 50,000 right now as well.
Yeah. Surprisingly low at this point, but there's no doubt it's gonna run.
I think so too. Corey Russ, we all wish we could hit the Powerball. That's only a lucky few can have that. So we've been seeing a lot of the Tales of Suspense 39 pages coming out. This is a really nice one, obviously, and it's already with the buyer's premium at 150,000.
Yeah, I mean, this is again, this is one of the better pages in the book with Iron Man. Tony Stark as Iron Man now comes off the table, which he was on in costume in the last panel of the previous page, and here he's learning to walk, he's learning to move, and you've got Iron Man in action, and you've got great images. Mm-hmm. I don't remember, the last one sold for close to 400,000 or over 400,000, and it wasn't as good as this one. So that's again, history, never been on the market before. Great page, Marvel, the whole bit.
Yeah. So we're 150,000 Iron Man learning to walk. I mean, you can't get much earlier than that in his history.
And I hope everyone understands I'm kind of going through these quicker than I normally do, only because we've only got so much time. This sale is loaded with material.
It really is.
We picked 40-something items, but normally it takes us 2.5 hours to go through 40 items. But
right, we only got an hour and 15 minutes today. But this is the other Magneto piece you talked about with the buyer's premium. This thing's already at 132.
Yeah.
And what can you say? I mean, it's Byrne and Austin from X-Men 111. I've always said that I like the early period of Byrne on the X-Men. So this for me is like, this is it. I love anything from around 110 to 116 or so. So this is perfect. If I were a rich man, I would be bidding on this one, because this is the era that I would want a John Byrne from.
Yeah, I mean, Byrne started on 108, so by 110, I mean, the penciling, the inking, I mean, look at the detail on this page. I mean, it is just beautiful.
Yeah, it's amazing.
I mean, again, this is a piece you put on the wall, and it's just a showstopper when anybody would walk by it. It's that dramatic.
Yeah, it really is. And and the price on it really reflects how important I think a lot of people feel about this one. That's right, Corey. When I Mega Millions would be the way I'd go, but I had jury duty today, or not today, this week on Tuesday, Joe. So I got paid $15 to not be at work. That's like Marcus is saying, you got a windfall of $15 this week.
It's
Yeah,
true.
my 4 hours sitting in the jury room waiting to get selected.
Yeah, but you never know. You'll meet somebody there, and next thing you know, they're a big investor, and next thing you know, you're buying a dozen of these.
I asked everybody if they collected original comic art, and they said no. And there was 80 people in the room. I was the only one. I don't understand.
Yeah, I don't get it either.
Oh man, but yeah, I'll be watching this one. I've already got it in my watch list, my track list. So what do we got here? Issue 168 from the Avengers. Again, you get Perez and Austin Inks. Love this one. Machinery, makes this thing even better. But
Yeah.
getting all the characters on here like this.
And it's the Avengers crashing into their own headquarters, and only to find a guy sitting there who's going to be the first of the types of bureaucrats that those type of storylines that come across later, where the superheroes are kind of limited in what they're able to do, and all of a sudden they're like anti-heroes. But you've got Iron Man, the Beast, Scarlet Witch, Thor, Wonder Man, the Vision, all there, and an ideal type of cover for George Perez, who never skimps on the detail. I mean, come on. So absolute prime period. Perez, Austin, beautifully inked, great image.
Yeah, I love this
cover.
One. It's at 93 with the buyer's premium. So
yeah, price already. I mean, it's amazing. We've talked about it so many times. Perez used to be, underappreciated in my opinion, and I never understood the pricing because it was only a few, people that kind of drove the market. But now he's ascended into the stratosphere. No doubt about it.
That's true. All right, here's that Ditko splash you were talking about from what is this one at? This one's at 75, and this is a pinup, right? But
it's a pinup. Yeah.
Boy, this is
the
nice.
thought is that this was originally drawn because of the style. I mean, this appeared in Marvel Collectors Classics number 10, which I think is after after Ditko left the title, but it was originally done probably for Spider-Man Annual number 2, which has all those great pinups in them, and it doesn't have this one in it. So it could also have been from Spider-Man Annual 1, which had a lot of pinups as well. So, and a Doctor Strange story in it. So it's again a definitive piece. It kind of summarizes the character, and it's another piece you put on the wall, and it's there. Ditko is again at his prime. I mean, I never understood how he could go from Spider-Man to Doctor Strange, and he loved that kind of mysticism and occult and everything else, but it's just great.
Yeah, it is. It really is nice.
He didn't use special effects or an overlay for the ethereal body. You know what I mean? He drew it in beautiful. Look at the way it's drawn, overlapping, beautiful. His distinctive, expressive hands and feet. Yeah, I mean, that's Ditko at his peak. And this is from the Mandel collection.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
It has a pedigree.
Yeah. I mean, that's going to go big. I don't mind having that one myself.
So now we have a Trimpy Incredible Hulk cover. This is to 123 from
Yeah, people
1970.
love Herb Trimpe Hulk. So here's a nice early cover, 123. Um, uh, uh, this is hijacked by the leader, one of his best villains. You know, classic 70s cover. This is 1970. It's just beautiful, dramatic, ton of detail, very nicely inked.
Yeah, no, it really is nice. I mean, usually you don't get the heroes in a moment where they're getting their butts whipped, but yeah, I guess with the Hulk that kind of works, right? Because at the end of the day, you don't think anything can, and so that's kind of makes for a striking image. He can smash anything he wants anytime, but when he's getting smashed, it's okay because you wouldn't normally, see an image like that with a lot of other characters.
That's always been the knock about Superman, in my opinion. If someone's totally invulnerable, and how do you make a compelling story? You
Right.
have to have some vulnerability, some limitations, some flaws in order to make it believable. That's one of the reasons that Spider-Man and Daredevil are so good. And here you see that you get that immediate feeling in on the cover with the Hulk.
Yeah, it's beautifully inked too. I love you look at it, just it's really kind of a sparse line as far as the way he's kind of shading the muscles and everything, but it's so perfect. I mean, it's a really beautiful cover.
He by leaving the figure a little bit more sparse, as you say, like white, it stands out more against the very busy background.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the intent. You can either do it that way or you go very dark, but then you'd have silhouette against that. So this works really well.
It does. So, and this one was at 81. That's right. Now we're going to take a look at a couple Frank Millers.
Yeah.
Got an interior to issue 160 from 1979.
I don't know. I mean, Daredevil just gets hotter and hotter. Frank Miller Daredevil. I mean, any Daredevil, but Frank Miller in particular. And there does not seem to be an end in sight right now. So you've got to feature it. Miller Daredevil began in issue 158. This is issue 160. So you have an early depiction of Black Widow and Bullseye.
Yes, it's fantastic. I love the first panel. I mean, anytime Miller drew the radar, it was always a sight to see. I mean, that just comes off so nice.
Nice. I mean, it's film noir. It's beautiful contrasts. Really, really got a sense of theatric.
Yeah, Derek knows where we're going to next after this one. So that one's over. It is over 80. 78 with the buyer's premium right now. But the next Frank Miller, of course, is the Captain America 241 cover from 1980.
Yeah. You have a guy that likes Captain America, I thought, didn't it?
We do, yeah. There's only one. No, I'm kidding. But yes, we have a guy who definitely has an affinity for Captain America.
And the last two times I left out the Captain America piece that he liked, so I took that into account here in placing this where it is.
Yeah, well, who knows? I haven't seen Alberto in the chat yet, but I'm sure he'll watch this on the rewind and be happy that he was taken into account tonight. But yeah, this is fantastic. I mean, it really is awesome. This has got Bob McLeod inks, and yeah.
And this is the earliest Frank Miller Daredevil to ever be offered by us. I don't know if I don't think it's his first cover ever, but it's certainly the first that we've ever offered. The earliest
cover.
The first meeting, yeah, the first meeting of Captain America and the Punisher.
Yeah, that's slick. Where are we at with that one? Closing in on 50. Yeah, Alberto's Achilles heel forever, Derek. He will be known as the Captain America guy. He's branching out though. He's buying a little DC every now and again.
Really?
Yeah, he's trying to spread his wings a little.
These reviews are taking hold. I mean, people are beginning to appreciate that DC during that core period was when Miller and those guys went over there,
Hmm.
That was a special time as well.
It definitely was. Now I think we've had like one of these or a few of these in the last several signature auctions with the Jungle Gym above the Flash Gordon, and
It's
it's
because these had never been seen before. They were in the hands of the family. So
Mhm.
these are coming directly from the family. As far as I don't have any more from the family member I deal with. So this is one of, I don't know if it's going to be the last one, but I think it's the last one from that part of the family as well. It's the Ice Kingdom sequence. If you scroll down, it's that it's very desirable because they're inside. So where Raymond, in many cases, didn't do a lot of background work in some of the sequences. Here, when they're in the cave or underground, he has to do all of that beautiful work, and he's just a master of it. So you've got Dale in the first panel, classic pose. You got Flash in the last panel, 1939. The size of these, because again, 1934 is one size, 1935 is another size. Then they get smaller, then they get big again in 1939. So it's 24 by 31. It's a really nice size piece.
That's a large package for you guys to have to ship. So, that is beautiful though. I mean, I think the last couple we've seen have been pretty spectacular, but this one's really nice, like you said, because of the interiors. But yeah, this is a fabulous piece.
Yeah. I mean, if you're a collector of narrative art, whether it's comics, whatever. I mean, this is what everybody wanted. This is what every artist aspired to, was Alex Raymond.
All right, now we have a Wally Wood Tales from the Crypt 1951 cover, issue 26.
Yeah.
And the details on this thing are just phenomenal. I mean, I looked at this one earlier and I couldn't believe how much detail he's packed into this thing in such a small area. I mean, it's amazing.
Wally Wood is really known when it comes to EC for his science fiction, his weird science covers
Mhm.
and his great imagination. But people don't realize that he was, he could draw anything. Obviously, this is one of just a handful of horror covers that he did, and the work in it is exquisite. Uh, Probably his best known horror cover was the cover of Shock Suspense 6, which we sold in the last sale.
Mhm.
Um,
Remember that.
a lot of less detailed, but the beautiful girl in the front, $840,000.
Mhm.
But you look at this is just gothic, beautiful. Uh, Wood was the guy that came up with all of the great ideas on how to do things differently. His designating, with the red so that you're the colorist, and they would cut that out in the printing process to get the special effects. His use of Zippertone, his use of, and of course he was such a great inker that everything he did looks great. Period. I mean, he was a great graphic designer. That's the only way to describe it.
Yeah, well, I think this is amazing. Yeah, I could it this if I own this thing, it would be on the wall. I mean, I'd probably hang it right in front of me so I could look at it every day. It's just
Yeah,
it's stunning.
it is stunning. Yeah.
Now we get a Avengers 1 page with the Hulk
So we
and
go. We're 14 in, and you go from one great thing to the next. It's unbelievable. I mean, this is just a great sale. I would love to have every single piece we've talked about.
yeah.
The great page from Hulk 1. This is page 3, and this is the page where Loki tries to trick the Hulk into destroying the bridge in an attempt to draw Thor out into the open. It's that sequence and storyline that started the Avengers. Um, and a lot of pages you don't get multiple characters. Here you get Loki and the Hulk, and it kind of tells the whole story of where it's going from that point.
Yeah, so nice piece. And where are we at there? 25.
Yeah.
Great stuff. Like you said, there's no clunkers yet at all. Yeah, nothing average in any of these.
No.
But we do get to shift gears a little bit because here is a V for
Yeah, I
Vendetta
purposely, you gotta kind of move up, back, forward, up and down a little bit to keep it interesting. But great V for Vendetta page. I mean, film noir, superb shots of V and Evie in every panel. Um, I mean, if you know the book, or if you know
Yeah.
the movie, uh, this is kind of definitive type of images, just beautiful. Uh, this is the splash from issue number 9. Um, it's from issue number 9, I
Mhm.
should say. So
Yeah.
it's just a beautiful page.
It's the
Yeah,
chapter page.
chapter
Where we
9.
at?
That's right.
And that's at 28,000 right now without the premium. So again, but these pages from V don't come up hardly at all, and this one's it's spectacular because it has EV and V throughout. Yeah, this is nice.
When you've got the Dark Knight, when you got Watchmen, when you've got those Viva Vendetta, those type of books that came out during that period of time, that was a defining moment in comics, changed everything. Um, it's just beautiful.
Yeah, and it's no, it's a great moment too. But yeah, somebody's gonna be very happy to add this one to their collection.
Yeah.
And you mentioned Watchmen, so here's a page from Watchmen 1.
Yeah.
Important moment, right? When
Yeah.
he finds him eating beans in his kitchen.
Yeah. Night
Rorschach.
Owl walks in and he
Yeah.
finds Rorschach chowing down beans. Kind of starts the whole sequence going, and he begins to um, tell the story of what's going on. Um, it's a dystopian atmosphere giving way to an absurd punchline. It's a good
Mhm.
line. I'll tell you, our catalog is becoming. I don't know if they're using AI or what, but I couldn't add. Usually, I look at the catalog and I'm able to add and embellish and stuff that hasn't been there or whatever. But they've been doing such a super job lately. It's really it's so commendable.
Oh yeah. No, I opened up mine yesterday, and the catalog's fantastic as always.
Yeah.
Where are we at here? This one's at 24 with the premium.
Yeah. Yeah.
Now we've Barry Windsor Smith. Anything Weapon X origin ish is going to be hot. I mean, this one you got a 2/3 splash page, and its composition is perfect. I mean, everything about it. These two panels work so well together, and this is an amazing page.
And Barry's detailed artwork really really brings out the like what is happening to him. I mean, it makes it uh, so much more dramatic. It's like the all of the equipment that was in Frankenstein was necessary to kind of add to the atmosphere. I mean, yeah, that's what people love about this. I mean, Barry was at his peak, and he was out of his mind when he was doing this stuff. So it's just fantastic. And this is the moment where Thornton and Dr. Cornelius uh, are trying to infuse the adamantium to the skeleton.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Now this is it's amazing. Stinger says he wants to get a catalog. I'll send you Newell after I've looked at it. Would be happy to share the love. Can anybody get a catalog, Joe? What do they got to do to get a catalog? Heritage.
Well, technically, you have to either be a bidder or you have to be a consigner. If I'd like to say I don't have any extra catalogs this time, but if you send me an email, I'll see what I can do. Send an email. Send me the email, joem ha.com.
There you go. Mike Vervanik says, are there any non-Grail pages in this auction? I don't think we're going to be looking at any, but
yeah, this is a tough one. This is a good one.
Yeah.
I mean, I left out a lot of stuff. I left out there's some great Jim Starlin pages. There's a lot of other. I mean, there's a lot of this. You got to go through this whole auction. There's a lot of great stuff.
Mm-hmm. And then you get a Romita Jr. Al Williamson Daredevil 278 cover. This one's almost 35 years old.
Did we skip one, Bill? Did we
you know what? Well, just so you, I got blocked by your website again, so I ended up having to open up a different browser. So I got to. Don't worry, I'm going to show that one.
Okay, no problem.
Yeah, I sent the IT team an email. Whenever I open up your emails, it's like, I just click the links, right? Well, they think I'm a bot because I'm just clicking links and the pages.
Yeah, when you do too many too quickly, they think you're
right. So I worked around it, but I had to open a different browser. So that one piece is going to be the first one when I switch screens here.
No problem. So yeah, I mean, Romita Jr. has been super hot, especially his Daredevil covers, especially those inked by Al Williamson. And here you have one of the classic ones. So Daredevil goes toe-to-toe with Blackheart, the son of Mephisto, the Lord of Hell. He goes to town and starts pummeling him. Beautiful image, Romita Jr. at his peak.
Yeah,
in many a collector's mind, let me put it that way. I mean, some people like his X-Men. So, I mean, he had some streak there going, from, he did Daredevil, he did X-Men, he did Spider-Man. I mean, what didn't he get to do? It's great.
He was very fortunate. Look at him today. He's still doing great work. He's adored by the fans. He's one of the most outgoing and friendly guys you're ever going to meet.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
I think he just moved.
Did he?
Yeah. He was forever on Long Island, close to his dad, and I think he moved.
Huh. Well, good for him wherever he went. I'm sure he's been wanting to go there for a while then.
Yeah.
Oh, cool. Well, this is a nice one. And again, it's where are we at with that? Probably just over, almost at 20 with the buyer's premium.
Well, these things have been going really high, so we'll see. I don't know. There's different strategies involved in bidding. That's one of the most frequent questions I get asked, by consigners, by collectors. I mean, basically, there's three strategies. There are some people who want to put a tracking bid, and they'll put a bid immediately, and they do it for that reason. There's some people who feel that if they put a really high bid, it'll scare other people off. Mm-hmm. And that's their reason for doing it. And then conversely, there are people who they're like in this sale, there's so many things to choose from that where do you go? How do you decide what you're going to go after? So by putting in a bid, if it's already too high for you, you can go somewhere else. If you wait, you'll never know. Then you're putting all your everything, all your chips on one number, and it could go through the roof, and you're out of luck.
What's the last piece of art you picked up, Joe?
The last piece, I just bought something. If Nadia was here, I just bought something a week and a half ago. I don't even remember.
All right.
I remember getting the bill. It was like $6,000, but I don't even remember what it is. And that tells me I shouldn't be buying things.
You can't remember what the last piece was. But I don't know. I was just curious. I don't think I've ever asked you that. So, I'm just thinking, when there's so much good art out there these days. Nadia's going to remind him.
Oh, yes. She just reminded me. I have the earliest known Seven Dwarfs as painted by the head of the paint department, and it includes the first concepts ever. And when the Seven Dwarfs began, they had ones that they decided not to use: Deafy, Baldy, and
so that's all in there.
And I have it over. I have the original art. I've had this forever. I bought it directly from. She was Disney's sister-in-law who was the head of the paint department.
Wow.
And so when she retired, I got it. Well, they had the original model sheets for that exact thing. So that's what I ended up getting.
Wow, congratulations. That's cool. Oh man. Well, that's awesome. Well, so this is the last one I have in this window here. It's a Graham Ingalls. What was it from? Vault of Horror. Oh, and it's a 7-page story. Okay, I didn't realize that.
Yeah, it's a complete Graham Ingalls story. It's from the Roger Hill collection. It's considered one of his best. For those that don't know, Graham Ingalls, of all of the EC guys, was considered the best guy for horror because it was so stylized, so gothic, and I mean, he was incredible. So this is considered one of his best stories. The Old Witch is drawn in not as a paste up, but actually drawn by Ingalls there. And this is the story of two guys that have a great racket buying and selling blood to the blood bank until they try to take blood from a vampire.
That's karma coming back at you. Yeah,
That's
these first panels are amazing. Gosh, look at that. Even look at that second panel with the the train tracks above them. That's amazing.
Yeah, and if any of you have not seen what an early EC page looks like, they're all oversized. They're in immaculate condition because Bill Gaines kept every page until the pages were sold. Roger, this is one of the early, probably came directly from the first auction of EC material. He had unbelievable taste.
This is this is a great story. Wow.
Yeah.
Doggone it. All right, let me change screens here. Switch this, stop that one, and go to the next one.
Yeah, that's like Mandel opening boxes, not knowing what's inside. It's true. It's true.
Oh man, so this was the one I skipped earlier.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is Jim Lee, Art T. Bear from X-Men 9, page 9.
Yeah, and this again came from Jim's collection. Action. This is one of the pages he kept for himself. I mean, this is an action-packed page. Take a look at this.
Yeah, this is great.
Crazy page. Wolverine slashes a Ghost Rider in the sewers of New Orleans after the spirit of vengeance has been overtaken by a parasitic brood.
Yeah, this is.
And also, I think the Beast is in there, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
If I'm not mistaken.
There.
Yeah.
Yeah, not too bad. And again, it's cool that Jim held on to these. You always think guys from that era probably didn't, but they love it. The thing is, the guys who are all those guys, they love the business, they love the art, and so in a weird way, it's not surprising that they held on to the stuff that they did that they really enjoyed.
No, what's surprising, I don't know if I agree with you. The guys in this era, they made a lot of money. I mean, they were getting like a bonus. They were getting money, and the sales were super high. They were the superstars at that time, and they knew it, and they were doing well. To me, it's surprising that that stuff is on the market. In the very beginning, a few of them would go to comic shows and sell. I mean, like signings, and while they were there, they would sell something just to have it there. But that's why a lot of the pages are not on the market. Guys like Byrne, yes, he sold a lot of stuff, and guys earlier than that. But the guys in the '90s, and then when they went to Image, and I mean, everybody knows they
didn't need the money.
A ton of money.
Right? They didn't need the cash at that point.
No, that's exactly right. And that was unusual for an artist, I'll tell you.
Mm-hmm. Well, it's a good one, and it's at almost 20,000.
Yeah.
And we got a Basil Gogo's famous Monsters of Filmland. Is this a cover? I'm assuming.
It's front and back
Oh,
cover,
front and back.
and
Oh,
if you touch on the arrow, you see down at the bottom that the painting is separate from, yeah.
oh, cool.
So you're getting a classic Go-Go's uh, uh, Frankenstein, and then you're also getting all the graphics for the cover without anything being obscured or damaged. Again, from Roger's collection. This is the 100th issue from Famous Monsters, which was the first and greatest magazine of that of Warren. Yeah, I mean,
Yeah, that's brilliant. Gogos is somebody who I would have loved to have met. I have a few friends who, got to meet him, commissioned him a few times, but I always admired his work. I mean, nobody paints like Gogos.
yeah, I met him numerous times. He used to do in New Jersey. There used to be a uh, what was it called? It's like a Chilla Theater kind of convention, of models and horror and things like that. And he used to appear there
Oh, cool.
each time. Cockrum used to go there as well.
Nice. Well,
Very nice guy, and kind of, if I remember, craggy looking guy, like
I remember just seeing a lot of pictures of him, near the end of his life, and yeah, but he was a small guy, but he was a bit weathered.
yes,
in his appearance.
yeah.
But
I mean, I'm looking at that. I don't know. I'm looking at that, and it kind of reminds me.
yeah. All right, what do we got here? Jack Davis. What is this from?
Now this is great. This is from Mad #8, and everybody's, well, maybe not everybody, but one of the things that EC and Gaines was so great at was building fan base, and the famous EC Fanatic Club, which then created this entire culture, which exists till today. I mean, Roger was always doing interview articles about it, and so many others. This is the original ad for the EC Fanatic Club from 1954 that appeared in Mad #8 by Jack Davis. I mean, wow.
Yeah, that's really nice. Well, yeah, back then you had to come up with ways to kind of keep people infused with your brand. Yeah, Fan Addict Club works really good. Maybe we need to have a comic art Fan Addict Club.
Well, I mean, basically, CAF is a fanatic club.
It certainly is. Yeah,
yeah.
that's
I
true.
mean, if they could have, that would be the ideal thing, an online presence of all interested collectors. I mean, that's perfect.
Yeah, this is really nice. Love that skeleton right there too. That's wonderful.
I mean, the amount of detail that Davis puts in here, and it's not indicative of his style. It's indicative of his EC style, but not of his later work. But just really well done. I mean, it's a historic piece. Period.
Wow.
Yeah, and in the same vein, this is. Famous Monsters of Filmland had a segment called Graveyard Examiner feature, and they asked the Wrightson to do the logo for it, so that appeared in all the issues that had that feature, and this is the original art for the logo. So, and what's cool about it is it's Graveyard Examiner. So his idea was a Sherlock Holmes, ghoulish version of Sherlock Holmes. So you see the Inverness cape, the deerstalker headgear, the hat. I mean, the pipe, the magnifying glass.
The coat. I mean, yeah, it's perfect. That's nice.
I thought this was interesting, so that's why I featured it there. Again, I decided to put several pieces from Roger's collection consecutively.
This is a nice one. Lee Elias again.
Yeah. as opposed to the Black Cat and the other. This is Chamber of Chills, and again, I think this plays into Roger, who was a historian and writing and everything else, and here's the skeleton working in the obituary department.
It should have said no nose for news, but this is great. I love it. Man.
Again, considered another classic cover from that era. I mean, Roger had them all. That's what you could say.
He did. Now, Warren Kremer.
Yeah. Now, Warren is an underappreciated guy. He was a genius, in my opinion. I did several long interviews with him. He started out at Paramount and did Casper, the Friendly Ghost. He was the first guy to do Richie Rich. It was his concepts. He could do anything. He did Little Lotta, Dumbo, on and on. I mean, the majority of the best Richie Rich and Harvey stories were all done by Kremer. And then when they went into horror, he could do that as well without missing a beat. I mean, it's what happens. Look at this bell with the guy's head as the ring.
Little blood trailing, from the beheading. Yeah, no, it's pretty frightening.
Yeah,
it's great. Warren Kremer, though, I mean, that's true. I don't think of him outside of anything, outside of Casper or those sorts of things. I mean, but no, this is great. And you said you did interviews. I assume that written interviews with him?
I actually I have an audio tape somewhere. I did an interview with him and Sid Jacobson, who was the editor at Harvey from the very beginning, and he was great. I mean, he was great. And then sadly, he had a stroke, and it affected. When Harvey was going out of business, he took that really hard, and he had a massive stroke, and it affected his art. And then he passed away not long after. So it's kind of sad he's not around.
Well, I hope you don't lose the audio tapes.
Yeah,
those got to go somewhere, man. I mean, there's probably a lot of interesting material in there.
Yeah, I got to find them.
Yeah.
In the move, I don't
know where everything is.
It's here somewhere.
All right, what do we got here? We have a John Byrne, Bob Layton Marvel Team Up 72 cover, which is very nice.
Yeah. I mean, it's a great combination. Byrne and Layton, Iron Man, Spidey.
Mm-hmm. Cracking the whip.
Yeah. I mean, Iron Man entangled in Whiplash's electric whip. Dynamic cover. It's kind of an all-star team up of not only the characters but the artists. Again, this is going to do really, really well. I mean, Iron Man is popular, Spider-Man is popular, Layton is popular, Bird is popular.
Yeah, you can't go wrong there. And then we're following this with a Mike Mignola.
Yeah, this is nice. You don't often see Mignola painted covers. This is only the second painted cover that Heritage has ever offered, and one of the best Hellboy images that we've ever offered. It's nice. It was done for an illustrated novel featuring Hellboy adventures, and it features Hellboy because it was done for Swedish. It's Hellboy going to Sweden, so he's got the hammer, Thor's hammer.
Yeah, this is great. It really is nice. My goodness. And where's it at? It's at 17.5 right now.
Yeah.
No. I'm still waiting for a ho-hum piece. We haven't had one yet. And we're not going to get one here either. Dark Knight Page, Miller, Jansen.
Yeah.
Gosh, that's great.
Yeah, another
Very
great.
memorable. Mm-hmm.
I mean, you have to get an example from The Dark Knight, and they don't come up. It's this is a unique period of time with David letting things go, and something like this coming on the market. This is the end of the chapter Hunt the Dark Knight, where the new Robin, Carrie Kelly and the Joker, uh, who just shoots a bystander for no reason in the last panel. Um,
Well,
yeah,
this is great, and it's at 15 right now.
yeah,
Then we're going to move over to Brian Bolland, and look at this thing.
yeah.
Has he ever looked more beautiful than in this image right here?
That is the image that everybody knows of Wonder Woman by Boland. I mean, that's the image. Uh, and he hadn't even started on the title at this point. I mean, I don't know if this was technically a tryout, but it might have been the impetus for Boland being assigned to the cover run. Uh, it, this pinup is one of the first full page Wonder Woman pieces he ever did. I mean, it's everything you want in Brian Boland. The beautiful detail, anatomically perfect, sensual.
Yeah, I used the term "well rendered" the other day, so we're gonna be using that as our catchphrase for when there's a beautiful woman. This is a well rendered Wonder Woman.
That's for sure.
Yeah, no, it's fantastic. Obviously, and what was this? Is from it was a pinup from issue 50. But boy, yeah, it's stunning. Where are we going to go from here? Oh, Baudet, right? This is a
Yeah. Now
Vampiro.
for something a little different.
Yep.
But I mean, how many people knew that Vaughn Baudet did the cover of Vampirella #3?
Not I.
Known for his underground work, Cheech Wizard, all the other stuff that he always did. Underground. I mean, this is pure, science fiction, fantasy.
Mhm.
Yeah, Baudet could do it. He could do it all. I'm very impressed. Uh, uh, 14 by 18 and a half. Uh, Beautiful painting.
Yeah,
And historic. The cover of Vampirella #3.
yeah, I would never have guessed. Honestly, I had no idea that he would have ever done a Vampirella cover.
I had to include this. This was like, wow.
It's had to surprise other people too, because I can't be the only one that didn't know.
Oh yeah.
Now, what do we got? A Johnny Craig Iron Man #3
Yeah.
cover,
Yeah.
1968. Man, 56 years old, right there, fighting the Freak.
Yeah, exactly.
Gosh, that's great.
Speaking of EC artists that then, made the transition over to Marvel, and that's what I think his best work was, Iron Man, of course. So
Mhm.
yeah. Cover of Iron Man 3. I mean, what can I say? Uh, Another Grail piece. We're up to item 31.
Mm-hmm. Okay, and then we have a John Buscema, Tom Palmer Avengers 269 cover.
Yeah.
Kang all over it.
Yeah.
That's great.
Again, that great combination of Buscema Palmer on the Avengers. Kang. Um, he battles his future self, and you have Hercules, Black Knight, Captain America, Namor. Um, fighting through his robot horde in the background. Really a nice cover.
Yeah, it is, and it's at what are we at? Almost 12 right now.
Yeah, Marvel Prime period for what I like to say Prime Millennials period. That early to mid '80s.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, period.
And then another Avengers cover. This one by Sal.
Yeah, this one's earlier. This is Avengers 91. Now you're getting into the classic Marvel period. Sal Buscema, Avenger 91 cover. Part 3 of the Kree Skrull Wars saga. Captain Marvel, captured by the bad guys. Ronan the Accuser, Sentry, Goliath, the Vision, Scarlet Witch, Quicksilver.
Yeah, that's a very nice one too. And where are we at with that one? That's just getting started. 13 and a half.
Yeah. But, a chance to get an early Marvel Avengers cover. I mean, it's great.
Mm-hmm. And from there, a Steranko X-Men 51 page.
Yeah.
There we go. Look at that.
The master
Cyclops
of design.
feature. Look at that.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
And I get Magneto too. I forgot about that. Yeah, right there.
Yeah. Signed by Jim, classic signature. How come every time we do? Oh, wait a minute! No, it's the other way around. This time, Magneto's getting a wallop from Cyclops. Usually, Cyclops getting
It's usually the other way around, right? Yeah, something's wrong here.
Cyclops getting the
Magneto had his back turned.
How about that?
That's the only way that happens. Yeah, but no, that was a great page.
And there's only he only worked on what 3 issues. He did it as a favor to Stan. He was asked to fill in, and there's just none of that artwork on the market. So yeah, it's a unique opportunity. Wouldn't mind having that one myself.
Yeah, same here. Let me see. We got about 10 more pieces to look at. This one's from Creepy 35, Bernie Wrightson.
Yep.
Get a close up.
Again, this is people love Wrightson and they love the horror, they love the gothic. I mean, look at the detail in these jars and everything. It's great. Great design, great detail.
Yeah, no, it is really nice. See, if anybody had their name on one of those jars, it would be a page that you'd almost want to have. If my name was Robin, all right, I'd say I got to go for that one, or Willem. I guess that's close to William. But yeah, this is great. Really, really nice. What year is this from?
1982.
Okay.
Freak Show.
Now we have an Eastman Laird Ninja Turtle 7 splash page.
Yeah, I mean, all the characters, Eastman Laird, in a jovial mood.
Yeah.
Rare Turtles splash page by Eastman and Laird. They're reunited with their father and Sensei Splinter. And it features all the Turtles from the 7th issue. You got Michelangelo, and then you have don't you have their images? Yeah, look, scroll up a little.
Yeah, there we go.
So because you had them from the back, he also uses that to have them facing forward. You get the whole picture.
Yeah, this is great. We've been watching a lot of Turtles in the house of late, so this is nice to see. I like this page.
Really?
Yeah.
They're back.
They are.
My grandkids love them. They come and go, but I was watching. There's I forgot. It's a documentary series on one of the history channels, and it's like how the toys shaped. Were made.
Yeah.
And the one on the Turtles is fascinating stuff.
I have not seen that one.
Oh yeah.
Well, here we have a very affordable at the moment Kirby page from New Gods.
New Gods 3. These pages were never on the market. As I said, this comes from the same guy who had the Dicko, and this is the first appearance of the Black Racer, which was a takeoff on the Silver Surfer, but on skis. And the Black Racer, we have other pages from the book there, so you'll see him as he first appears in the book and everything else. But one of the things he does, he's really death. He's the harbinger of doom. Anything he touches, it dies. But one of the things he does, he'll go to a planet and he'll take over the body of another person, and then that person becomes a Black Racer. And here he is taking. This is the first appearance of him as Willie Walker, and this is his origin story. So it's he was a disabled Vietnam veteran. So Kirby was, touching on a lot of different, obviously, the racial aspect, and it's a very memorable book.
Yeah, no, it's really nice. The Toys That Made Us.
Yeah, that's right.
I think Marcus got it there. Yeah, I've only seen like one or two of those episodes. I don't even know where I've seen them, because I don't have TV, normal TV anymore. So if it's not on Netflix or Prime,
yeah,
or something, I don't get.
Well, the one that I found fascinating is the story on He-Man, and then the Turtles. Yeah.
Rich Danny says it's on Netflix, so okay, I can look it up then. But I'm going to look for the Ninja Turtle episode then.
Yeah.
All right, we got a Kaluta. Now this is just a straight painting, not used for publication, or is it?
Oh no, this is an interesting one. I actually sold this to David many years ago. Mm-hmm. A friend of mine, Kaluta, did two posters right at the peak of when he was doing the Shadow. And one was an Art Deco-ish piece that was done in watercolor, and then the other one he did is this very dramatic oil painting. Mm-hmm. And David always loved this. He asked me if I knew where this was, and I did. And he said he had to have it. I mean, this is 30 by 40, wow. 29.5 by 39. So this is big, the size of a poster itself. Very, very imposing. Beautiful in person, and of course Kaluta reinvented the Shadow for an entire new generation of fans, and this is perhaps the single greatest image of the Shadow that he ever created. It was produced as a print in 1976, featured in the book. The studio is one of Kaluta's definitive pieces of art. The guy who owned it, got it directly from Mike, who's, by the way, is one of the nicest guys in the world. Mm-hmm. And so it's only had two owners, basically all of this time. So I'm a little surprised David's letting it go, but he's got to let go of something. So it's just a stunning image.
Yeah, well, I'm sure it wasn't easy for him. Is it on canvas too?
Yeah. As I remember, it is. I don't have the description of it in front of me, but it would be in the description.
Seeing the way
it looks on canvas to me.
It looks like it's on canvas. Yeah. Well, really nice. Then we have a Frazetta illustration up next from '67.
Yeah, I mean, as many might know, is Frank right there after doing a lot of his paperback covers was contacted by a couple of people in Hollywood, and he moved his family out to Hollywood, and he was getting a lot of work from studios for movie posters and things like that. So here is one of his busiest and largest pieces and detail. Look at the number of characters in this, and usually those don't come to market. He was such a master at watercolor and diluted color in order to get the subtle shading. So if you look at this in detail, you have the beautiful girl, you have the other thing. This is Richard Pryor's first movie. So this is the movie poster for Richard Pryor's first movie role. Sid Caesar, Ann Baxter, Robert Ryan, Dom DeLuise, Bill Dana, Marty Ingalls, Godfrey Cambridge, on and on.
Yeah, there were a lot of great movies that came out of this era. you know,
Mhm.
and they were all huge ensemble casts for comedy, right? This is
Yeah, Mad World type of thing, and
that's the one I was thinking of. Yeah,
yeah, and that I think is a Jack Davis movie poster.
yeah, I think you're right. Actually, yeah. Let's see, a little different here. John Buscema, Frank Giacoya Submariner cover from issue
Yeah,
24 from 1970. This one's tonight. Very, very cool.
I thought Nick would like
Tiger
it.
shark. It's not stingray, but it's tiger shark stingray. Just like,
Yeah, Tiger Shark
that's great.
takes name off for his last ride. He's
Oh,
chained to a killer whale.
so there's worse
December
ways to go, but I don't know if what those would be.
a
Very
lot
nice, very
of
cool.
different sources say that this is Esposito or Johnny Craig, but Giacoya's name is handwritten on the back, so it's pretty good provenance.
Yeah, you can't argue with that. Let's see, we got a John Bolton painting.
Yeah, I
Maybe.
don't think I've often brought it up, but this comes directly from John Bolton. These have never been on the market before, so yeah, this is his famous work, Black Dragon, and these are all full oil paintings, and it's beautiful. If you see these in person, they're gorgeous. He's masterful.
Yeah, no, I'm amazed at the blue that he's got there in the sky, and he's using that as the highlight on the figures below. I mean, this is a really amazing painting. Wow.
Yeah, and there's probably a couple of others, and I know I get some stuff, and we put them in the weeklies as well. So you should be because not much of Bolton artwork ever got out to the market. So yeah, and he's very popular, especially internationally.
Yeah, well, deservedly so. I mean,
Yeah,
he was a master.
yeah. At the end here, I wanted to pick a couple of different things. So
Preacher.
another preacher cover. I think we probably have three or four in the sale again. Having secured that great collection. Here you got Jesse and Custer and Star as reflections in the two knives. Really great cover. Uh, uh, Great concept, beautifully executed.
Yeah, no, I agree. I've always liked Glenn's work. I mean, it's distinctive. His color palette. You know his work when you see it. So yeah, this is nice.
Yeah, I mean, mid '90s again. Preacher was one of the prominent, you know, titles. Yeah, we got a complete Infantino. This is a Silver Age classic, Flash 145. One of his classic, one of the things that made the Flash so popular was, again, like Spider-Man, like so many other Batman, coming out with real creative villains, one after the other. And the Weather Wizard is one of the most popular. And here's a splash with the Weather Wizard, and it's a 6-page complete story. Oh,
Yeah,
wait a minute, it might not be complete. Let me see.
it says story pages 1 to 6. I don't know if
Yeah,
that. We can getting the costume on too.
yeah, oh yeah.
Yeah, you're right. So it's not complete, but it's the first 6 pages, I think.
Yes, that's right.
Okay. No, not bad. And then we've got a Corbin piece to follow that
And
one.
then directly, and this one's actually a very big deal. This comes directly from the Corbin estate. In 1979, Corbin created Pilgor, a character for a series of sword and sorcery stories, which was meant to be an amusing version of the Odyssey. He created a portfolio of 8 images of the definitive images, and this is the first plate of the portfolio. Um, and the image was used as the advertisement for the portfolio as well. So this is like 22 by 28. It's a fully rendered painting. It's not just paint, pen and ink and wash. Um, Corbin as 1979, Corbin at his peak. I mean, this is a special piece.
It really is. No, it's amazing. I don't know how he got just the tonal work on the figures in great and in a grayscale, and it's just unbelievable. I mean, there's nobody. You can't really compare him to too many people because he had his approach to lighting the figures is so unique to him, and I mean, it's just the smooth style. It's just crazy how amazing this piece is.
Yeah. This piece reminds me. I know this is getting a far afield quick, but the Da Vinci and Michelangelo were asked to do competing images for this giant mural in the Palazzo in Florence, and sadly, both of those were lost to time. But a couple of it was so famous that people came and they did drawings of them, and that one looks just like the Da Vinci or the Michelangelo. It was like these great, characters all intertwined, and the horses and everything else. I'm wondering if this was kind of an homage to that, but who knows? But he was a genius. He was always trying to do something different. He was a guy that, even we've talked about it in the past, with his color work, would scrub in just the prime colors, just blue, red, and yellow, and by scrubbing them into the canvas, we'd get the difference in colors the same way Maxwell Parrish did, and to get that very luminescent effect in his work. Yeah.
Well, we have one final piece to look at, and I wouldn't mind owning this one myself.
Oh man, I had to put this in because
I'm glad you did, because I might not have seen this one otherwise. But it's by Sergio Aragones, and it's from the 1972 Comic Art Convention. Because back in the day, if it was a Comic Con, they always put the word art in there. It was just a part of it. But this is so much fun because, I mean, you get to it's a little slice of con life in 1972, right? I mean, and there are people selling art.
It is like Sergio was up on the balcony looking down on the floor, and he got everything in. And this was the famous show where the EC guys first appeared. So at that table in the front are the guys from EC.
Yeah.
And then you also have, of course, in the crowd, Alfred E. Newman and Nancy Henry. And, of course, if you see the costume parade and the dealer's booths. And I mean, everything that goes on at a convention in different areas, all put together like only Sergio could do it. I mean, I hate to sit there and try and count how many figures are in this thing. It's unbelievable.
Yeah.
And this has never been on the market because it came from somebody that was, very involved in the show. Let's put it that way.
That's amazing. I mean, this is just a piece of comic fandom history right here. I mean, it's I would never have guessed something like this would still be out there. But yeah, I would love to own it. I'd own a print of this. I think it's so cool. And I don't have any prints in my collection, but this one, I would love to have one. It's just incredible.
Yeah, and it's 22 by 30.
Massive. Well, they got the right guy to draw it.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, this is great.
Well, we did it, Joe. We did it. We got through all 45, 44
with 1 minute to spare.
Well, I'm glad we were able to work this in. Obviously, we had this show scheduled for next Tuesday, but we had to move things up a bit. But it all worked out.
Yeah.
I
appreciate it, and I'm happy it worked out. I'm not going to say I thought we could have gone on and have been better than the update, but I would never say that. But
no. But well, I hope. Well, we're gonna obviously. I think the next one is in November, right?
It's already shaping up to be a great auction. Oh, and by the way, anybody, we could still make the deadline. If anybody wants to consign for the next sale, please feel free to contact me. If you're interested in buying anything and you want to pay for it with something in the next sale, which gives you the opportunity to push off the thing and basically make a trade. That's something that we routinely do. That's how a lot of these great items get paid for. So feel free to contact me or anybody else at Heritage, and we'd be happy to be of service.
Yeah, your email's right on the screen, joem@ha.com.
Yeah.
Questions about this one, the future ones, consigning, and creative payment options. If you want to get something, yeah, Joe is your man. And well,
Marcus, you got Marcus pissed at you by he gave you a print.
Yeah, he gave me a print. But it's almost a joke. It is a print though. He gave I forget what it was. Somebody it was an eBay auction that somebody said was a piece of art, and it wasn't. It was a print, and it made its way into our market data because we just get the data, right? And so I brought it up. I said it, and then as soon as I said it, I realized because I knew the controversy out there. I'm like, oh crap! I've said we've highlighted a piece that was a fake. Well, Marcus sends me a copy of that. so yes. So I said I don't collect prints, but do I have at least one? Yes. And Marcus gave it to me. So the Kelly Jones. That is exactly right, Rick Welch.
There you go.
All right, everybody. Well, listen.
All right, everyone.
This was fun, and anybody who wants to hang out for the CAF update, you can actually just stay on the screen. It should kind of forward you right over to the next show. But Joe, as always, it's great hanging out with you. And
same here. Appreciate everybody who tuned in. I'm reading the comments this time. I didn't type any because I didn't sign in as Google because I know it gets distracting. But always appreciate it. Thank you, guys.
All right. Have a good night.